So I don't watch movies often, right? Like I just don't like watching movies. We've talked about this a little before. 1 hour, 30 minutes, that doesn't do it for me. 3 hours, now okay. 8 hours,
we're getting somewhere.
But my folks put on House of Gucci the other day, and let me tell you, I didn't pay too much attention, but John, have you seen it?
I have not yet. That's the one with Adam Driver and Lady Gaga, right?
Yeah, you know who else is in that movie?
Wait, who else?
Jared Leto.
What? The Joker?
John, do me a favor and look up a poster of House of Gucci. Just House of Gucci poster, maybe.
House of Gucci poster.
Where's Jared Leto?
What the fuck? No, is he the weird old guy?
Describe him a little more.
So the one I'm looking at, the poster I'm looking at, it's like a gold background, and he's wearing a pink suit next to Al Pacino.
Yes,
That's him.
Is Jared Leto.
What?
Yo, movie. And then like the cherry on top is like, so everyone's doing Italian accents the whole movie.
Yeah,
Lady Gaga does it, pretty well. Al Pacino, come on.
Yeah.
Adam Driver sucks. And Jared Leto is just Charles Martinet or whatever his name is.
The voice of Mario.
Dude, it's like, I don't know how he got away with just doing the like stereotypical would be racist if it were anyone but Italian accent.
This really is the House of Gucci. Oh yeah.
Like, I made the joke during the fucking movie where I was just like, oh, this is House of Luigi.
House of Luigi?
It was crazy because he was just like, oh no, I lost my shares. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh no.
Oh, Mario, what am I gonna do? I lost all of my shares.
He fucked me. I'm an artist. Like, I shit you not. That was Jared Leto's performance, and it was so fucking funny.
Dude, give Jared Leto the fucking Oscar, honestly.
On a serious note, give the makeup team an Oscar for that, because I straight up, like, my parents, they every time they watch a movie, they do the whole thing of like looking up the cast and it's like, oh, so that's who that person was. Oh, they were in this movie. Oh, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. And
then my dad was just like, oh, so that's Jared Leto, and I was just like, who? Because like, I remember when we were watching Eternals, a lot of the posters for Eternals, they had Harry Styles. He was just like on a lot of the advertising for it. And I shit you not, Harry Styles, like, this is not even a spoiler. Who fucking knows about the Eternals? But
yeah, there's a character named Sprite in the Eternals, so fuck them.
Not even McDonald's Sprite, come on. Harry Styles shows up in the after credit scene, and this man is like the billboard for the fucking Eternals movie. And so I thought it was going to be some shit like that. Like, damn, they got after credit scenes for House of Gucci.
Damn.
But nah, that makeup team deserved that shit. I had to look deep into his blue eyes to be like, ah, yes, that's Jared Leto.
The after credit scene of House of Gucci where Lady Gaga as Mrs. Gucci goes to the dark, seedy underbelly to meet up with the Joker.
No, it fucking Jared Leto performing as Donatella Versace. the Italian fashion cinematic universe. Fucking
dude, honestly,
I know Louis Vuitton's French, but like, fucking they out here meeting with Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
Oh, but then Hugo Boss. Oh no.
The fashion brand cinematic universe.
I'm glad I'm crafting this. You know, anyone can be a director nowadays. It just takes an idea.
It just the stupid the trailer for like I think it was Endgame was like it started with an idea. To get Earth's mightiest heroes like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Celine, like Calvin Klein.
Oh no, not Calvin Klein, the American division.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. We're not a movie podcast because there's enough of those on the internet. Honest to God. You know, I still have a few minutes. Someone on Reddit was like, oh, let's compare like mutual subscriptions to like different subreddits. And someone was comparing the anti-sex subreddit to what was the next most likely subreddit that people in the anti-sex subreddit are subscribed to. Now, I don't know if this image is genuine or if it's just fake, but number one on that list was the Red Letter Media subreddit.
Oh no!
And that is very funny to me. I don't
so
know
funny.
why. It just feels like a stereotype. I genuinely don't think the fucking meme is real. It has to be a meme. It has to be.
It absolutely has to.
And now we are Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast where we review the latest chapter of One Piece and have a different One Piece related discussion every single week. My name is Franz.
My name is John. And in my brain I was like, and I hate sex.
I mean, we could just, you know, plant our flag real quick. This is a no sex podcast.
Yeah. Listeners, do not worry. There will be no sex ever in this podcast.
Do you remember that 4chan?
10 minutes later, God, I want to fuck it.
Do you remember the 4chan, like, meme? It was, like, quote-unquote a rumor that, like, if you, like, stayed a virgin till you're 30, you like, get, like, telekinesis.
Yeah, and, you get, like, magic powers. You become, like, a wizard or something.
Oh man, I wish that was true.
Literally, that. Have you seen? I haven't gotten or played Elden Ring yet, but I've been seeing
maidenlessness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I'm pure and maidenless. But no, I saw all these people on Twitter posting about the magic builds in Elden Ring, and it's just like, imagine being a boss, like god of your realm, like ruler of chaos and destruction, and some wizard walks up and Kamehameha waves you to death. And there's a video of a guy in a little wizard hat shooting like this beam, and you just see the boss's health bar just
hell yeah, dude, magic easy mode.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you get 30 years sex free.
Adri used to like playing Skyrim a bit. I should get her to play Dark Souls.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I don't know if that'll be fun. I don't know if she'll enjoy that. Anyways, we're here with chapter 1042. The victor needs no epithet. Jesus.
Ooh, which
that's a hard word.
Okay, because of what we'll get into, what happens at the end, I saw people complaining their booties off on Twitter. But honestly, I thought this chapter was real good.
This chapter's insane. Like, I can understand some disappointment of like Oda give up the ghost. We want it to be over.
Yeah,
but like,
but also like
ties into something much greater.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what's exciting. I understand both sides.
Yeah,
I am the true centrist.
I am the true centrist.
But we open up with volume 6 of Germa 66 Emotionless Excursion, and this one open and shut. you just see Pudding and Oven taking away the Vinsmokes
in their book. It is take Niji and Yonji to Whole Cake Island, which is also funny because I'm thinking like, wait, like I guess that makes sense because they were escaping Whole Cake Island and they probably got that far to the outskirt island, the chocolate island that Pudding is the...
Yeah, that's like the outermost one, right?
Yeah, because that was the first one they like landed on. And then she was like, oh, if you follow this route, you'll get to Whole Cake Island. But it makes sense if they were escaping and they got that far, and then, you know, so they probably had to... Niji and Yonji probably had to start fighting back, and they got left behind.
One little tiny detail that I think is, like, really interesting is the flag for the Germa Kingdom, assumedly, right under the Vinsmoke on the cover of the book.
Yeah.
It's like a Swedish flag? ? Let's say Norwegian flag.
Yeah.
Yes, that's more accurate.
God, I'm such a loser. I was like, yeah, it's got the Smash Brothers logo on it.
I'm going to hang up this call. You motherfucker.
Everyone is here.
I hate you so much. I'm so insulted.
In a geography class learning the flags. Oh my god, Smash Brothers!
There's this subreddit called Vexillology Circle Jerk. Vexillology is like if I'm being honest, it's the hobby of like appreciating and quote unquote studying flags. The main subreddit r/Vexillology. It kind of sucks. And it's kind of just like, some people use it in like ways to be like, oh, hey, look at these LGBT flags. And a lot of people use it in a way where it's like, oh, look at my Nazi flag. I promise I own it just because I like the flag. I swear. God. And so like, it's a crapshoot, but the Circle Jerk is very fucking good because it's just people doing shit like that, and also like they're doing shit like getting the Norway flag, moving it down a little bit, and just being like Smash Brothers.
Oh god, that reminds me. My girlfriend cursed me by showing me an Adachi subreddit from Persona 4. I forget what it's called, but you could already, I could already tell that you probably know where the hell this is going. But where was it? It was called r/Adachi Sexual, which already is like, oh no, but they have their own Adachi flag, and all it is like 2 black bars, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then below and then 2 white bars next to those, and then in the middle is red, and it's all it is if you turn it sideways, it's his fucking jacket, coat, shirt, and tie. It's so stupid. Hold on, I don't know if
I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have their flag, and it's so cursed, but it's just.
We have more listeners week to week than this subreddit has fucking subscribers. Like, we have more to talk about.
Oh god, there's only so much with the Dachi, but anyways, back to what we're here for. One Piece. We're at the first basement level, and if you follow us on Twitter at Paramecia Cast, I retweeted the official. I always retweet the official One Piece Twitter account. It's the
Eiichiro_staff. Right?
Yeah, Eiichiro_staff. Or OPCom_info. I don't know. One of those. They might have changed their name because it says OnePiece.com now, but it's still the verified one. Anyways, if you follow us on Twitter at PRMCCast, I always retweet it, but that official Twitter account always tweets out the first panel of the new chapter before the chapter drops. So it's like, oh, you get a little teaser. And this one, of course, the first panel is just X-Drake impaling the CP0 dude.
Dude, it's fucking hardcore too.
So like, you know, I start this chapter, I'm like, oh, cute pouting pudding and you know, Oven, you know, the absolute goat of Whole Cake Island, like the absolute champion of the Charlotte family, like, cool, okay. Turn the page, whoa. That escalated very fast.
X-Drake, read the room, man.
Oh,
Which
God.
is almost literally the fucking line. Like, this go-faced dude, we still don't have a name, right?
For him, I don't believe so.
Explain yourself, X-Drake. And he you know, X-Drake's, he got jobbed a bit earlier. He's huffing puffing. This is what my justice tells me to do. And this guy's response is so fucking cold. Then I am envious of you. And he's just like, he does the step away and then just fingers his throat.
Yeah, finger guns his throat. And it's like, dude, I mean, I don't think X-Drake is dead from this, but I'm like, bro, like,
it's a bad look.
Yeah. But that line, like, then I am envious of you, like, damn. Like,
what does that mean? Like, okay, I wonder if Oda has revealed a justice, quote unquote, for Rob Lucci.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I have no idea.
Because
I think wasn't his thing was like, well, I mean, he's like
dark justice.
Yeah, his thing was like dark justice, wasn't it? Like,
yeah,
he was all into the assassin.
Right. Quoting the wiki, Lucci bases his outlook on justice on his personal philosophy that any person or thing that goes against the world government's interests should be destroyed, but is also evil for being that way. Specifically, he has declared to serve a dark justice, his motto being necessary evil. What if this guy, the Go guy, doesn't have a justice? Like an absent justice?
That would be cool.
Because like, everyone in these higher echelons of the world government, they've got their own personal philosophies for justice.
Yeah.
And this man just being like, then I am envious of you, like, what goes on in his little mind, dude? I'm so intrigued.
Cause I definitely read it as like, cause he's like, oh, like, explain yourself, like, you know, and I read it as sort of like a free will thing almost, cause Drake is like, you know, he was part of the Navy.
Yeah.
And he's still technically part of it in Sword, but, you know, he went rogue as a pirate.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like, this is what my justice is telling me to do. And I just read it as sort of like, oh, like, I'm envious of you. As if, like no matter what his justice tells him, like, this Go guy can't follow his own justice. Like, he's trapped by, you know, he's trapped by the world government in a sense.
Yeah. That's another, like, very likely possibility. And we're gonna, as we see at the end of this chapter, we're gonna have to learn about him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to learn about him real fast because like,
he might stop being.
Yeah,
Hey, we're gonna get a flashback real quick because you know how it is with these.
Oh God! But we cut to the flower capital again, and it's, you know, as people are getting shot in the throat. We're getting the shamisen, you know, music. And it's like, oh, like, did you all write down your wishes? Now let the sky boats, like, let them fly. Send your wishes into the sky. And they're actually lighting the boats and, like, sending them into the sky. Like, because a couple chapters before, we had seen them writing their wishes on the boats, but they weren't, like, actually sending them up. Right. And now, finally, they're going to be sending them up, which I'm thinking this will be the moment that, like, when they watch them go up, they're gonna see Onigashima and be like, yo, what?
Especially with, like, the other thing that happens, like...
Yeah.
There's no way they don't see it.
Yeah. So good.
We get back on the rooftop, and Luffy's just giving it to him. Kaido's taking this beating. You know, he's not taking all of them. He's like trying his best to deflect some, but like, you know, Kaido's like a little bit out of shape. Like he's wondering to himself, is he bending the trajectory of his attacks? Given the nature of rubber, that's impossible. And he's getting pummeled. This line, though, of Kaido just thinking, has a lot of other people thinking. We're thinking.
Yeah. Like, what? Like,
I believe I have come to a good understanding of like what this kind of means. So like the nature of rubber, that's like a weird way to say it. Like conceptually, because like what I think he means is like the nature of rubber in this case is like if you stretch it, yeah, rubber can stretch in any like way, but like rubber is stretched in a very linear way to the way the force is applied to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if you get a rubber band and stretch it out one way and then you release it, it's going to fly like based on that energy, like based on that line that you have drawn out, it's going to follow that line and fly away.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like impossible. Now, there's a lot of people doing some thinking out there that this might be related to like an awakening for Luffy.
Yeah, which I could see it because the way I thought about it, like before this chapter, the way I thought of Luffy's awakening, if he were to have one, was basically the way Gentle Criminal's quirk worked in My Hero.
Right, yeah.
Because his quirk was called Elasticity, and what he could do was anything he touched, he could, the way it's worded in the manga, I think is like he can bestow the nature of elasticity to objects. So like he was touching like I-beams on like this construction site, and he was able to like make like, you know, like throw Deku into them, and they were like bouncing Deku back at him. But there's also a moment where Deku like tries to punch him, and he turns the air in front of him into like elasticity and like launches the force back at him using only like this sort of elastic like air frisbee looking thing. And like I always thought like, okay, like if Luffy had an awakening, like it would be like that. Like he can, whatever he chooses, he could bestow, like, you know, he could turn something into like rubber. But I didn't, like, now reading this, I'm like, well, could it be that he's using like some sort of awakening ability to get like the hard angles or whatever?
Possibly.
Because that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
just what you described with regards to Gentle and like how the air turned rubber, and that's how I'm thinking that Luffy's, you know, changing trajectory.
Yeah.
It's not that he thinks about these things, but in some intuitive sense, that might be what's going on.
Yeah. Because, like, all the thing that's weird about it, that it's like, you know, I never questioned when it happened, when he was fighting Katakuri, and I'm only questioning it now because of what Kaido said, but, like, you know, we've seen his attacks, and all of his attacks, when he stretches his arm out, like, you know, huge, and he does, like, these attacks, he either always goes in a straight line, or he, like, swings his arm.
Right.
Like, it's his arm is, like, straight, but he swings it, and it's, you know, that's going on. This one, it's like, yeah, how is he literally, like, doing all these hard angles to change the trajectory? Like, I never actually thought about that.
The only other explanation, like, I think the whole, like, air being rubbery makes more sense than, like, him having the innate understanding of, like, changing the vectors in his muscles to, like, contract a specific way.
Oh, yeah,
to, like,
no, yeah.
make it go one way. Like, One Piece is so wacky where I'm willing to be like, yeah, the air's rubber.
Yeah, he's bouncing the attacks off of the actual air, and that's what's making them, like curve, like, or like not even curve, just hard ass angles like that.
Yeah. But that shit doesn't matter because, like, you know,
yeah,
Kaido's taking it, and he's just like, oh, ow, ow, ow. And then we get drunken beggar Kaido, and he's like, just stop.
I love how he puts his finger to his mouth, like, just stop.
Like, oh, you? Someone ate good. It's not me, but I'm happy for whoever ate well today.
Yeah. They're eating well with the little heart too. The bang.
Yeah, the little heart. But despite that, like him joking around a bit, we like out of nowhere just don't assume you're the only one who can see the future. And Luffy's kind of just like taken aback by that, and he's just like, oh, what if I try copying you? Is it like this? And then he just starts swerving, in dragon form, swerving around all of Luffy's attacks. And like, it in some way, for like a lot of readers, like, this sucks. Because like, it's stuff like this that like draws out a battle, but there's always the precedence of like, hockey blooms in the field of battle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like I don't want to be tapping the sign either, because like I'm also like a passenger in the case, but like,
yeah,
if we're being objective to One Piece,
the bus driver tapping the sign,
yeah.
But like, I think it's cool because in the panel, like Luffy gets like like the future sight, like the exclamation points, like, oh shit, like he sees something, and you see Kaido fly out, and then in the panel where he's like, is it like this? You see Kaido's body like doing the Luffy's fist thing, like it's making like the hard angles coming at Luffy, and I'm like, what?
Which then, at that point, like, either Kaido understands air rubberness, or like the whole air rubber shit is thrown out the window. And it probably is thrown out the window. This shit's fucking crazy. Like,
yeah,
it is wacky. It is wacky. And then Kaido just eats him.
Yeah, Kaido gobbles him up. He bites Luffy in his torso, and Luffy's like screaming. He flies up with Luffy, and he swallows him, and Luffy's like, he ate me. Like,
it's so good.
And it's like Kaido flies all the way above Onigashima, like where their battle took place, and Luffy's like, let me out, damn it. Opens his mouth and drops Luffy as he charges and fires the blast breath, and he just like shoots Luffy straight through the hole of the ceiling, like, and you see like all the beast pirates, the samurai, and Yamato like dodging the blast,
and like, dude, it's crazy. Like, this is when this gets animated. Oh
yeah,
death kiss, man. But Luffy withstands it and starts hopping away as Bounce Man. And he keeps flying. It's one of those things where like this might have been like he hasn't shown Kaido that he can do this specifically, I don't think. And Kaido's pretty glad about it. It's like, oh, the fight's not done.
Yeah.
Luffy knows he's in a pinch. He's like counting the minutes. There's no time to waste. Losing's not an option. As long as you're around, the people of Wano won't even have clean water to drink. And then Kaido gets into it too, into the just discussion of it. Because what Kaido just, you're feel free to take sides however you will, like,
which
boomer ass mentality.
Yeah. I find what he says on the next page so interesting.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the end of the chapter and what we've seen of Kaido. Because I'm like, well, I don't even think you believe this, sir. But
dude, yeah.
So we see Kaido freaking boomer ass like, well, you're free to take whatever side you will. Well, you can believe whatever you want. And you turn the page, and it's another double. By the way, this chapter has like so many double page spreads. It's so good. It has like three, I think. Hold on. 1, 2. Yep, 3 whole ass double page spreads. We're eating good.
And a couple of just like standout panels too. On top of that.
But we get Kaido being like, but let me tell you, these Wano folk have accepted defeat into their hearts. Weaklings who shun violence. Casualties who found glory in death. I've seen plenty of the losers and vanquished I've seen plenty of the losers and vanquished here, and they all have their excuses. And Luffy's like, shut up, the samurai are strong. Strong or just stubborn? The victor needs no epithet, so which are you? And it's like, but like, oh,
it's crazy. Okay. And it's like, again, we don't know, and we really shouldn't assume that Oda has any political side, really. I do think there is, like, it is more likely that the man is, like, largely apolitical, kind of just, like, people should do good things kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not some, like, philosopher, like, oh, read Slavoj Žižek, or however you pronounce his name. You know, he's not that kind of guy. But there feels some kind of way the nationalism you see in Japan of, like, some people, they make the argument that, like, oh, Japan's become a weak country.
Yeah.
And there are counter arguments to that as a, like, a form of, like, an attempt at least at, like, positive nationalism. There's like another term for it, but, like, don't fucking sue me, you know. I'm not some brain genius. Of, like, saying, like, oh, there's some things about the Japanese spirit that are strong and positive, and, like, that's what makes Japan good. I.e., like, you know, Luffy making the argument samurai are strong. And so, like, just the fact that there's this, like, parallel between, like, what's being said here in Japan's, like, native politics, it's really interesting to me, but I don't know if this reads more of an observation than, like, taking too much of us, like, it's not meant to be, like, political discourse. It's just, like, some people have, like, this, like, weird opinion, and the other side is just, like, people should kind of have food to eat, actually.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's so crazy, this line coming from Kaido of all people. Cause, like, I mean, you know, we'll see it at the end of the chapter, but, like, even going back, like, cause you could just boil it down to, like, oh, like, I've seen so many people, but, like, they all lost, like, they all, like, submitted to me. And so, like, strong or stubborn, like, it doesn't matter how it gets, like, you know, the victor needs no epithet. It doesn't matter how it gets done. If it gets done, that's, like, that's it. That's final. But it's like, bro, you were all bent out of shape when you got tricked. Like, like, that doesn't...
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's scared of being weak.
Yeah, so, like, it really reads this as, like, him trying to, like, convince himself almost. Like, I'm not gonna say it's as much as, like, a Luffy and Katakuri thing, because the Luffy and Katakuri fight was definitely a lot more, I guess, intimate, I can say, because it was really, you know, figuratively and literally, like, going up against your other self, and for both of them. And Katakuri was like, well, like, Luffy, like, if you lose everything, like, what are you gonna do? You know, because he lost everything, and Luffy was like, well, I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Like, it doesn't matter. I have to win. It doesn't matter. I'll keep going. And that was the whole sort of, you know, tension in that fight. But this one is like, he's like trying to convince himself and bounce his, you know, his beliefs off of Luffy. But I mean, he already kind of knows that Luffy's not gonna bend to his will. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what comes of this. But
yeah, interesting is
yeah.
Oh, man, it's freaking good. And, like, after all of this done, you know, hard ass line, it's the title, you know, the victor needs no epithet. Luffy just gives it to him over Kong gun. And, like, this over here, so, like, I went to the raws because I was like, what the hell does this mean, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, it seems to be like a modifier for like overlord. It's a word used for like champion, leadership, hegemony, supremacy. But like okay. When Kong Gun is translated, in Japanese, it is Monkey King Gun. So, or like Monkey Lord Gun. You know, to keep our words straight. So, Monkey Lord Gun. And so, this one is like over Monkey Lord Gun, or like Supreme Monkey Lord Gun. Not to like dip into like, oh, Supreme Monkey God Hockey.
I got Monkey God Gun.
Honestly, that's literally just one step up from this. So,
oh my god. It's gonna happen. That guy was right. That guy was right.
So that's what the overlord, like, the over in this is
like Overlord.
Overlord. And that made a lot more sense than when I was originally reading it.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually... Yeah, because I had read it, I was like, over Kong Gun, and he starts one again later. He's like, over? And I'm like, what? What?
Who?
This is, man, this is wild. Like, he hits Kaido with the over Kong Gun, and he's like, he's not done. Gotta knock him all the way out while I can still use Gear 4. And as he's dashing to him with the Kong Gun, like charging up another one, just in the smoke, just Thunder Bellow Bagua. And he bashes Luffy with the club. And I love this scene because Luffy like falls on the ground, starts exhaling all the steam, and then he like covers his mouth and he's like, don't leave yet.
He's like dragging it back in like all Looney Tunes, like.
Damn, when the dab's too powerful. Don't leave me yet.
When when it's your first time hitting the bong.
And you start to cough. Don't leave me yet, strength.
Oh god.
When it's your first time in the blunt rotation.
See, I have the big brain, the biggest brain of all. Kids, listen closely. If it's your turn on the blunt rotation, just say, hey, no thank you, and pass it on to the next person. You keep your dignity intact, and also you seem oddly polite for not being a freak about it.
Hell yeah.
It's just win-win.
It's a win-win for everybody.
And then you steal their weed and smoke it at home and then build up a tolerance in order to... But you didn't hear that from me.
But you didn't hear that from... Oddly specific, but all right.
I didn't do the second part, but I have done the first a lot.
Hell yeah. Oh god, no, I love it. And Kaido, we get bloodthirsty drunk, and he's like, like, what? His face is so funny.
Yeah, it's very Looney Tunes, like, oh my god, I feel like there's a scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where, like, the wolf or something looks very much like that.
Oh, probably.
Feels very classic cartoon. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Oda.
And then the final part of this chapter. So they start going, they keep going at it. And Luffy says, one more hit. If that doesn't work, then I've lost. And he starts charging up Gum Gum. And he's like, show me what you've got, boy. Thunder Bellow. We see Luffy charge over. And we see in a panel, Ellipses dude, Go Guy, charging. And he grabs Luffy's fist, like his arm. And he uses the Iron Body, the freaking Tekai. And he holds Luffy's arm back so that he can't swing the attack. And we get the final double page spread. And this one was like, dude. Kaido notices CP0. And we get the shot of he's getting a flashback of when he got tricked beating Odin. And they're like, "Father," and he's like, "Momo," and then I love the parallel of Luffy and Luffy and Odin making like the same face, like looking, and we just get Kaido slamming down Luffy with the club, and the faces on the left, Kaido's face. Luffy took a direct hit from a thunderbomb. I don't know if he's like knocked out, but like
no clue. Yeah.
Because part of me is like, well, he's taken a couple of those attacks, so but he's also at his like limit. So I think if he doesn't get like knocked unconscious from this, I think he will like blow out the smoke and lose Gear 4th, like because he's been saying like this is the last one.
Yeah, like no matter what happens, like the dynamic of the fight has changed drastically regardless. Like, I personally think that he's like out cold.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, this sucks because like Luffy's the main character, but like, he can take those 10 minutes. He can take those quick 10 minutes because like, one, I'm loving seeing Kaido get PTSD, man.
Dude,
like, that face.
Kaido's face with his eye. And then juxtapose that to the Go Guy's face, which is like, oh my god.
Dude, I like next chapter, I don't know what's gonna happen other than this guy fucking dies.
This Go Guy is dead. I'm talking like destroyed. Like he is going to die.
There are some people tossing around like Kaido might just kill himself after this. And like, while I feel that, I don't think that's how the grand conclusion will be. But like, whatever happens, like before that, this Go Guy is going to be missing a few fucking pieces. He's going to be playing fucking Mancala.
Yeah, he's going to be missing a few chunks. Like, dude, I saw people, like, people were getting mad, and I understand, because, like, everybody's making the quick comparison, like, oh, no, Flampe 2.0, like, from Whole Cake Island. But, like, this has been set up more than this has actually been set up. The Katakuri thing, like, thinking about Kaido's character and the Katakuri, like, I can forgive this way more than the Flampe.
Right. There's a narrative purpose, and like within the politics of One Piece itself, this has so much more meaning.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like this moment has been like set up for like a while now. I mean, they've actually started making moves towards it before Oda did. Like I think it was literally last chapter where he's like, hey, like we got a message from the higher ups, like you have to stop the fight. Like,
right, yeah.
You have to intervene somehow. It's the most dangerous fight in the world, and, I would like to see I would like to see two things from this. Like, why, the reasoning behind why they needed this fight stopped.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because part of me is like, well, they were already, like, because before the Zunisha and Devil Fruit reveal, quote-unquote, they were like, oh yeah, like, whoever wins the fight, it doesn't matter because we have our dudes and we're going to clean up shop whoever the loser is. Suddenly, after the Devil Fruit reveal, they're like, yo, you have to stop that fight. So I don't know if if this is a whole thing to say that like Kaido's thing in the beginning of this chapter, like, oh, given the nature of rubber, that's impossible. If the fruit they're talking about was actually Luffy's or not.
Oh.
Man, I had brought it up before last week, I think.
Yeah,
Like, maybe that's what that, but like, I don't know. We don't have the revelation as to like why, what it's capable of, and why the fight would need to be stopped. Like, what makes it so dangerous?
Nothing is concrete. There is a lot there. It's not like a poo-poo theory to throw away.
Yeah. There's something there. There's like a gap in our knowledge that we need answers to.
I mean, shit, it was barely filled with the whole who's who revelation.
Yeah. That brought up more questions than it answered.
Truthfully, yeah. It's not that it's frustrating, but it's just like, god damn.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer to the end, I think what it is we keep having this, I mean, albeit natural feeling of like, oh, as we're getting closer, we're getting a lot of revelations and stuff, and somehow he's still able to keep these questions popping up and keep stringing us along for certain things, and it's like, dude, what? Like, but the other thing I'm gonna need, man, I want a Kaido back, like a flashback or something. Like, if we could slow down the pace at least a little bit and give us like a flashback centered on Kaido and his point of view on all this.
Oh, like, shit, yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Because not only, you know, like, kind of, you know, to tap, not only just to tap the brakes a little bit on the pace, because I was talking to a friend and I was like, dude, like, okay, I understand fully that Oda is like, oh, like the structure of Wano is going to be like a kabuki play. And like, we've talked about this before, I think, but like one of the kabuki play acts, its defining feature is like it builds the tension to a crazy level, and then it just like instantly stops. Like it does its climax and it's like act over.
Yeah.
And then the next act is all about like, you know, cleaning up what was done in that last act.
But it's just very likely might be hitting that.
Yeah, but my thing is like, dude, like look, I'm loving all these chapters, don't get me wrong, but I'm also like, man, I can't take much more, man. Like, where's the release valve, man? Like,
it's like it's that whole fucking meme of like, oh man, I'd like to stop experiencing historical events throughout my life, but like in a way that's like, in this context, it's like sympathizable. Like, oh man, like,
yeah,
dude,
God, I would love to. I would love to stop living through peak One Piece right now. Like,
got it. Like, you know us, listener. We're not hype beasts, but we ride the hype train, and we cannot stop at this moment.
Yeah,
whether we like it or not.
And it's, oh man, yeah. I thought this chapter was really good. I think, I mean, it's definitely. I saw. I mean, shout outs to Roger's base. He was getting kind of frustrated, but also, I think his thing is he just gets frustrated with the like community and the fan base,
which
like
is
the
reasonable,
the vocal ones, which is if somehow Roger's base, you are reading this, you are valid, and it is like, dude, these guys sometimes suck, bro. Like,
dude, like I'm really like, glad we're not like, you know, top of the line One Piece content creators, because like I'd just be picking fights. I wouldn't be able to use Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I think what it is because I don't know, like a lot, like, not to say that it's wrong to do that. I don't want to say that it's wrong, like what they're doing, but they very much have cultivated a thing of like, well, I mean, the review culture, I guess, if I can expand on this, like it's sort of evolved into like we're like a lot of the people who like review One Piece each week, they're like IGN grading it, like, oh, this chapter was like good, like this chapter was amazing, this chapter was like, you know, they're not giving it numerical, you know, values, but they're very much reviewing it as if it's like an IGN review, a GameSpot review, like giving it quantifiable metrics, like as to how good it is. And I think that, coupled with like the fact that One Piece is such a good series to like theory craft about,
yeah,
I think somewhere within there, my take on it is that some of the wires get crossed, and while theories are good and like fun to talk about and stuff, like some people, and I've seen them like type in like, you know, Roger's chat and stuff, like when their theory, their personal headcanon like doesn't come true, it's trash. Like series is trash, series is garbage, Oda's a bad writer. And like I can only imagine that times like infinity on Twitter, like having to deal with that.
Dude, because like, you know, a lot of people, and like, okay, it is slightly hypocritical, very hypocritical to say this as like literally a podcast host, but like none of us are the main character in this shit. Like, we ain't writing this shit. we gotta take a step back. Of course, John and I, we enjoy theory crafting or whatever. And when we hit, oh man, we don't shut up about it.
Yeah.
But like, there's no reason to like shit on it exclusively for it just being like not the way you want it and not how you envisioned it. There are clearly like valid ways where you can criticize it within those things. Like one thing that's like very reasonable to criticize is how for most of One Piece, all of these characters were essentially nobodies. And then in the last several hundred chapters, a lot of them turn out to be somebodies or potentially somebodies. And that is frustrating. That is valid.
Yeah.
But because your theory is that Luffy, in fact, actually holds the Pipikakapupu fruit instead of the Gum fruit, and it turns out to be untrue, what did you expect?
Yeah. I don't know. I again, like, I saw, it made me laugh, not in like a antagonizing way or anything, but it just made me laugh because, like, you know, I watch Roger's stuff, like I watch his like One Piece reviews, not as much I think as I used to. Mostly I think just because like I watch the VODs afterwards, because if I'm in there and I read the chat, like, dude, the chat is so like toxic and they just keep like typing dumb stuff. But like,
I couldn't handle that shit. No way, no how.
But it's just like, I mean, I see the way he enjoys One Piece. He loves the series, right? But what I've noticed is that like he's very he'll be very openly critical about anything he likes in general, like stories. Like he was one of the main ones. Like he did not like the turn that My Hero took, and the My Hero community, the same thing as the One Piece. Like the vocal majority was like just like thrashing him on Twitter for like no reason. It's like, dude, like he can not like the way the story went. Like, you know, like if I'm being honest, I don't really like. I'm enjoying it. I don't really like how fast it sped to this moment that we're at right now.
Completely reasonable. Another great example, like Dr. Stone just ended this week, and I don't necessarily like how it ended. I didn't really like the ending arc.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna fucking sling shit at the guy. And like, I I still liked the series as a whole. I'd still suggest it to people. I, you know, may give the personal caveat of like, oh, I didn't like the ending or whatever. Not that it was bad. It just, you know, didn't hype me. But, you know, that it is what it is.
Yeah. But I think like a lot of it is just like, dude, people like, I don't know, especially the One Piece community, from what I've seen, like, dude, like, it's, I don't know, it's all like just tied together. Because like this thing, everyone's like, oh, like, CP0 interfered in the fight, like, between these two characters, like, it's garbage. And I'm like, oh, like, no, I mean, the way I saw it was, dude, these two guys are fighting, and because of the politics of the world that we're in, and because of their involvement in the story arc so far, like, yeah, he was gonna step in, like, you know, like...
Right, like, One Piece, of course, is, like, a battle shonen manga. Like, at its core, if you reduce it the most that you can, that is what it is. But it doesn't have the same, like, narrative, like, stipulations that it does.
Yeah.
Like, the battles themselves aren't so holy.
Yeah.
Because, like, we saw it a lot in Whole Cake Island, too. Like, yeah, the Flampe thing was, like, one thing. But, like... You know, using the whole mirror world, this and that, just like everyone evading, lots of people going all over the fucking place. Like, you know, yeah, some fights have to happen. But at the end of it, like, what it really is just a world that, like, we enjoy.
Yeah.
Not
a world that's, like, alive and the players are like, you know.
It's active.
I mean, this is the Go guy. He was playing Go. Like, he just moved his piece. Like, that's what, like...
That's literally it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, again, like, shout outs to Rogers Base. Like, you know, he's doing his thing, and I respect it. I just I just laugh because like I know that I'm definitely the kind of fan that like each week I come and I read the chapter and I might have minor like gripes, but at the end of the chapter my takeaway is always like, man, I can't wait to see like how it gets wrapped up. Like I see this and I'm like, dude, like we're finally getting what we wanted. Like
for real.
Like Kaido in the flashback, he didn't get to really confront Odin the way he wanted to. Like he caught him when Orochi put him in the boiling water and was like, or the boiling oil, and was like, hey man, like sorry you have to die right here, but like I killed the guy that interfered in our fight, so there's that. And it's like, dude, Kaido has been the character that like ever since that moment, like the scar that Odin put on his chest is his only like it is it's a permanent scar, and it's a constant reminder of the fight that can never be finished, the fight that can never be truly resolved for him.
Right.
And it's like for all the goofiness that we've had when he's getting drunk right now, but like he has this power boost, like you can tell he's taking everything he has out on Luffy, and it's like for him to finally approach like 100% being in a fight, and then to have this happen again, like
I feel for him.
Yeah, I feel for him, and I truly do not know I truly want to know what the outcome is going to be this time around. Like with the haunting knowledge of like the only fight he's ever had that gave him some kind of thrill can never be finished. That it's like, dude, like it's happening again, Kaido. Like, what are you going to do?
How crazy would it be that like, because we're not on break next week, right?
No, we're not, which is also wild to me. Like,
what if we open up next week with just Luffy in a jail cell?
They
like
they just reprint the chapter that like when Luffy got captured.
Dude, like it's not that I would enjoy that per se, but there's just the world of possibilities gets me very excited, and I'll just take whatever, man.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking like I think my thinking on it is that this attack is gonna knock Luffy out of Gear 4th. He might still be conscious, but like he won't be able to like move. He's gonna hit the 10 minute like no hockey mode. But I think that Kaido is not going to like. I think Kaido is going to direct all of his attention to the CP0 guy
for sure. Yeah,
I think that's much more likely. I do not see this guy surviving like at all. Like there's no way this guy lives.
Like, oh god, those people who are like, oh my god, Oda doesn't kill. Y'all gonna see blood.
Yeah, we might finally see. It didn't happen to Orochi, but we might get the first like seinen kill in One Piece.
Oh god, it's so exciting. But man, if you want to share this excitement with us, we got a place for that. Our Discord, Paramecia Flower Capital. The links to that it's like on all our social media. It's a permanent invite link, so you don't got to worry about it. We have a lovely community there. Lots of theories, everything. You like pictures for One Piece, go straight there. We talk about other things like gaming, VTubers occasionally. Boy howdy, I've been catching up, which is why I haven't come out the woodwork with VTuber theories, but like, man, and John, I gotta talk to you about something after, but man.
Ruh-roh.
And yeah, you find out on our social media. Speaking of which, John mentioned at Paramecia Cast on Twitter, Paramecia Fancast everywhere else. And yeah, our episodes go up on Mondays. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Monday at the early wee hours. And they go first to our Libsyn, parameciafancast.libsyn.com. That's our hosting site. If you want a direct download from there, feel free to do so. If not, we're on all the podcatchers. You know, your Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, whatever, all of them. Fucking all of them.
Yeah. iTunes and Spotify specifically give you more tools to, like, interact. So definitely, you know, like each episode, give us the 5-star reviews on iTunes and leave some reviews for the show, because for those platforms, the reviews and like the liking definitely helps push it. You know, that is what feeds the algorithm on those.
Yeah. Like creators
also just weekly, like, you know, like habit listening, I guess is the best way to put it. Like if you're on Spotify and it sees like, hey, every week you're listening to this podcast, it starts like pushing the podcast more.
Yeah, like creators beg for these things for a reason. Unfortunately, we did our song and dance, and now we're tipping our hat, and our hat is just like, comment, subscribe, please. Because that's the only way to grow. We're not gonna fucking take out a billboard or something. Like, it ain't those days anymore. It's all dependent on algorithms, baby. And if we want to be at the top of those, that's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
So every week,
unfortunately,
y'all have heard this shtick. Real ones know.
The real ones know. But yeah, that's it for this week. You brain blasted me.
Oh no.
And I thought up a crack theory.
Oh God. It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Hit me with your best shot, but
So, let me put on the classic crack theory voice.
Oh yes, vintage.
Vintage. Yes, a nice 2017. Yes.
Luffy's devil fruit is going to be revealed to not be the gum gum fruit, but be the caca poo poo pee pee fruit, as Franz mentioned. And its awakening is that anybody he touches, their bowels will just everything's gotta go. It's like a Brandsmart USA sale. Everything must go.
It reminds me of this meme where it's just looking at someone who you disagree with and just being like, I pissed your pants. Not you pissed your pants. I pissed your pants.
I pissed your pants.
Fucking imagine it in like the context of those Old Spice commercials where it's like, look up, look down, look up, look down again. I pissed your pants.